the orphan boy who created Rolex. Have you ever pondered the origins of Rolex or attempted to figure out what makes it tick? It's been over half a century since Hans Wilsdorf left our world. But did he depart? Who could say? His contributions are needed now much more than in the past. The point of this story is merely to offer Rolex owners a more profound respect for Hans Wilsdorf, the extraordinary guy responsible for designing our watch. You owe him a lot of money, and you've never even heard of him. Curious to know more about Hans Wilsdorf? Now let's get deeper into this. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. Remember to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to ensure you get all the updates. Let's start the video. The entrepreneur started with very little to work with, but he possessed several unique characteristics that would be helpful in the long run. These characteristics included vision, hope for the future, tenacity, and an exceptional capacity to work. Orphaned by the age of 12, Hans Wilsdorf used his relentless desire to invent the first waterproof self-winding wristwatch with a perpetual rotor. This watch has since established the industry's benchmark for quality and distinction. What was the early life of German watchmaker Hans Eberhard Wilhelm Wilsdorf, also known as the first years of the German watchmaker? On March 22, 1881, in a rural village of Kulmbach in Bavaria, Hans Wilsdorf was born to parents who identified as Protestant. At the tender age of 12, he left an orphanage due to his parents' unexpected deaths. After the end of their mother, he and his siblings were forced to mature at an earlier age than expected. However, the inheritance they received from their grandfather's prosperous business, which their uncles had liquidated, provided them with a stable basis on which to construct their independence and security. He never became spoiled or reckless, even though his grandparents were wealthy, because his parents passed away when he was still young. Because of this, his uncle decided that the best way for him and his cousins to receive the type of education they believed was necessary for every man was for them to attend boarding school. His early interest in mathematics and languages, he is fluent in English, German, and French, encouraged him to investigate chances for travel and employment outside of the United States. Wilsdorf started his professional life in 1890 as an apprentice at a company that exported pearls. He started working as a clerk and English correspondent for the important clock and watch exporting company Kuhne Korten in La Chaux-de-Fonds, Switzerland in 1900 when he was only 19. The Swiss company Kuhne Korten was known for the superior clocks that it shipped. Only Geneva and La Chaux-de-Fonds combined to sell over 1 million Swiss francs worth of high-end timepieces yearly. Wilsdorf was able to develop ties with some of the most influential people in the world through his employment in this position and learn practical watchmaking techniques from them. It was a terrific opportunity for him to observe and learn about the watch and timepiece industry firsthand, and he took full advantage of it. Additionally, in 1902, when he was still living in La Chaux-de-Fonds, he met Hermann Egler, the inventor of modern precision manufacturing, at the company that Egler worked for in Bienne. There is no shadow of a doubt that he grew to possess the level of self-assurance necessary to launch his own business, and the fact that he did so was a significant contributor to the ultimate achievement of Rolex. London is where Rolex's story begins. Wilsdorf uprooted his life and moved to London in 1903, where he found employment in the watch industry. After those 2 years, he established the law office of Wilsdorf and Davis at 83 Hatton Gardens in the City of London. In May of 1905, when he was only 24 years old, he took out a loan from his sister and brother-in-law, Alfred and Mary Davis, to start his own company. In the beginning, the portfolio watch was a luxurious leather case for a look explicitly made for traveling. This desire took him back to Bienne, where he encountered Hermann Egler and negotiated with the firm to create wristwatch movements according to Wilsdorf's specifications. More and more, he fantasized about high-end timepieces, and this desire eventually brought him back to Bienne. At this get-together, a silver case with a leather strap has been crafted for both genders to take home. Wilsdorf's concept to make a selection of designs in gold cases was released by a significant jewelry firm in 1906. The design swiftly became a popular choice in his watches thanks to the popularity of the autumn launch. Wilsdorf's idea to make a selection of designs in gold cases was inspired by the autumn launch of the company's new collection of watches. The beginning of Rolex. On July 2, 1908, in the municipality of Chaux-de-Fonds, Switzerland, Hans Wilsdorf used the services of Wilsdorf and Davis to register the term Rolex as a brand name formally. At the same time, he also created a sales office for his timepieces in this same municipality. In his biography, he does not explain where the name comes from. According to many reports, he conceived Rolex while traveling through Cheapside in London on a horse-drawn double-decker bus. A phrase that packs a punch without being too long to fit comfortably on the dial, and most crucially, a word that is easy to keep in one's head. According to Wilsdorf, who made this observation in the Vade Mecum, it has a pleasant tone because its pronunciation is the same across all European languages. However, the history of the phrase horology excellence has been the subject of much conjecture. It's safe to conclude that we'll never have a definitive answer regarding the word's origin. Back then, Rolex was not nearly as well known as a brand as it is today. Consequently, watches manufactured by the goldsmiths industry in Asprey are more well-liked than those manufactured by other brands. This is the case even though both companies sell their timepieces to retailers who have been in business for a considerable time and are even looked down upon by the Swiss watchmaking company. Wilsdorf, the dogged individual he is, did not allow this defeat to disturb his self-assurance. Instead, he dedicated additional time and energy to achieving his goals. As a result, Rolex has now acknowledged the world over as a synonym for success, even though it was formerly regarded as an odd organization. Wilsdorf moved his company to Geneva in 1919, and in 1946, as a subsidiary of Rolex Company, he established Tudor, another high-quality but more affordable watch brand. Tudor is still in operation today. After his wife passed away in 1946, he established the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation and gave it all of his Rolex stock. He did this after the death of his wife. Rolex's enigmatic founder passed away in Geneva on July 6, 1960. However, his foundation is still in operation to this day, ensuring that a portion of the company's income is donated to charitable organizations. The life story of Hans Wilsdorf exemplifies the truth behind the cliche that great things can emerge from modest beginnings. Great things can come from humble beginnings. He demonstrated that one should persevere in the face of opposition and that one's history should not dictate one's actions. Hans Wilsdorf's life revolved around his obsession with his Rolex watch. He envisioned that his watch's usefulness, precision, and aesthetic appeal would contribute to the overall betterment of the planet. He was irritated whenever his watch was referred to as a status symbol because he wanted it to be understood as a mark of accomplishment rather than quality. The price of his watch was above that of the man of the middle class, which meant that to acquire one would need to contribute a little bit more, work a little bit more, and reach a little bit farther. The acquisition of a Rolex watch often symbolizes a significant accomplishment in the wearer's life. When Mr. Wilsdorf passed away in 1960, he controlled all of Rolex. The company is still privately held and managed by the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation, a charitable organization. Mr. Wilsdorf founded Rolex in 1905. It is reported that the profits are secretly donated to children's charities worldwide. Mr. Wilsdorf grew up as an orphan. Into innovative business ventures, Mr. Wilsdorf had over 700 patents. You have every reason to be quite proud of the Rolex you are wearing on your wrist, your accomplishments to earn it, and the company that manufactured it. It reveals a great deal about who you are. That is it, everyone. So what do you think? Leave a comment and let us know. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you still need to. Also put on the notifications because the following video is going to be a great one.